we've got to stop allowing governments or asking governments to solve every problem.
Alan, the big news of the week, bank collapsing overseas. So what worries you now about the banking system?
Well, I think the collapse overseas, I don't really approve of the bailouts, by the way, because the Silicon Bank had a liquidity problem. It didn't have any other problem. Now, that should have been covered by regulations. To put things simply, the bank, Silicon, and I found like Sillicon Bank, and there are other banks, although our banks, I think, can't be compared with the Sillicon Bank. I think we're very secure, so I don't want to be panicking anyone here. But the Sillicon Bank took deposits, which they do. They want volume. They want to do better than the other person. And of course, those deposits were getting not much of a return. But then they bought securities to back the deposits, and they paid more for the securities than the depositor was getting for his money. So when the depositor suddenly said, I want my money back, then they didn't have the money. They either had security out here which they couldn't sell, or because interest rates went up, the securities went down. So they'd have to sell at a loss. So suddenly they're stuck for money, and hence the panic. Now, Biden, who wouldn't have a clue, but Biden says, oh, you know, well, we'll bail them out and whatever. We've got to stop allowing governments or asking governments to solve every problem. And, you know, in Australia, the problem that we have with banks is very, very simple. I mean, these interest rates go up, and out there in punter land, in mortgage land, they're in terrible trouble. There's mortgage stress. And Lifeline will tell you, I mean, it's a serious, serious issue. Now, I have said over and over again, but you're wasting your time. Chalmers thinks he knows everything. Chalmers is just an apprentice when it comes to this. Albo wouldn't have a clue.